YouTube, what is up? Coach Wiz, we're back with another reaction video. Today they thought Larry Bird was old, but then this happened. Another Larry Bird trash talking story by Prime Larry Bird. Go check out the channel. I appreciate y'all supporting and all that good stuff. If you are a senior, if you're 65 and up and looking to get in better shape and want to stay independent, hit the link in the description. Right now, I am doing virtual training classes, no equipment needed. It's only $20 a class right now. So take advantage while you can. Let's get to the video. Hope everybody's doing well.
As Larry Bird played his last handful of games on the 1992 Dream Team, he got called out by some young college superstars for being old and washed up.
And I was like, Larry, your back is already hurting, man. You need to take it easy.
Hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since '84.
And one last time, Larry Bird had to prove that even at his advanced age, there's a big difference between being a good player and being the greatest of all time.
Larry Bird, at this point in his career, is now squeezing to the end. It's a ceaseless struggle to get healthy enough to play.
Larry Bird did not play the final 7 games of the season as he decided to sit out and see if he could get his back ready for the playoffs. His back...
Man, Larry was... He was really banged up there at the end. He was banged up, man.
It was day to day, and no one knew if he would be able to play in the series.
I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to feel Thursday or Friday. It's just wait and see. It's a game that we're playing right now, and hopefully I'll be prepared to play every game.
I remember walking in the locker room, and I saw Larry before the game, and I said, how you feeling? I'm okay, I guess. Well, he wasn't okay. Guy could barely put his pants on.
He spent the night at the hospital in traction, so he had to be in just unbelievable pain.
I can remember when I first came in that in the league, Artis Gilmore told me one time, he played for Chicago, he said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, well, he's crazy, because that's what basketball is all about, going after the loose balls. And we're getting a little bit older now and feeling the bangs and the bumps and the bruises and all that. I can see where he's coming from, but I can't change my style of play. I got to play like that every night, because if you go down and get one loose ball that's on the ground, that could be the turning point of the game. And it has been in some instances.
What's unique about Marian University Preparatory School is the collaboration.
They don't go as hard no more.
Marv, the mood of the Celtics could be described as confident. In fact, this is the 10th deciding game of a playoff series Larry Bird has been involved in. By the way, the condition of his lower back injury remains the same, expecting to play about 40 minutes through pain today.
And it has come down to the 5th and deciding game between the Celtics and the Pacers. Bird off balance.
Bird putting his shoulder down that time, actually trying to create off the dribble.
You can see how hurt he is, just like how he's moving.
Bird in the open court over Williams. Pacers down court in a hurry. Larry Bird has some words right in the face of Chuck Person as Person called for the timeout.
As Larry Bird carried the Celtics to a lead in the first half, while already in excruciating back pain. To make matters even worse, with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, Larry Bird took one of the nastiest falls of his career.
Right now.
I ain't gonna lie. This is starting off like the one video, but we'll keep it going.
Larry Bird with 12, and the Celtics lead by 7. 4.5 remaining in this first half. Bird had a good by Samuels. Power shot recovery. Bird is hurt. Bird is down, and he's hurt.
As Bird goes after the loose ball to try to save it, he does in fact.
He is out.
Play, but he paid for it. Struggling right now to get up.
Now he is.
It was a thud when he hit that.
Out cold.
You heard that boom. The breath went out of that building because they thought that, that was it.
What went through my mind, just hope it wasn't anything too serious. Obviously, there was something wrong with me. Anytime you see Larry Bird walks off the court, something seriously got to be wrong.
Larry Bird's face hit the floor so hard that he knocked himself unconscious for a few seconds. He left the game with a concussion and had a broken bone in his face. And with the Celtics leader out of the game, Chuck.
Let's keep it real. No players ain't coming back from that today. They ain't coming back from that today. They out. You feel me? They out for weeks. Not the legend.
Chuck Person and the Indiana Pacers smelled blood.
Don't think the fact that Larry Bird is in the locker room right now isn't helping the Indiana Pacers pick up their level of intensity. They smell it right now. They know the leader is not on the floor. Someone needs to step up now for Boston and take over in Larry Bird's absence.
With 20 points, the first time this afternoon the Pacers have had a lead.
Well, you're right. Chuck Person was a real force, and there was a lot of back and forth going on.
Person, the three, yes, straight away.
And Larry bangs his head on the floor.
I know.
Bang, boom. Has to leave the game. It looks like the ship's going to sink, and we're going to go home in the first round.
Person from downtown. What a shot by Chuck Person. And he just...
Hey, I ain't mad at him.
And the cameras are on Larry emerging from the locker room, coming down the corridor. The cavalry is arriving. The crowd sees him. They go berserk.
And here comes Larry Bird. And Uncle William is forward.
I remember when Paul Pierce tried to reenact this.
I got the sense that
Shout out
Pacers
Paul
were
Pierce, man.
stunned to see him there, and that they thought, holy, what's going to happen now?
Throughout this timeout, they have been standing and cheering since Larry Bird made his way from underneath the tunnel from the Boston locker room.
It is one of the, in the Bird lore, it is one of the top 5 incidents that he did that might have been the last great moment.
Facts. Where do y'all have this moment ranked in Larry Bird moments? Like, where would you have this ranked? Out of all his moments, where would you have this specific time ranked?
Out with 4:23
It's up there.
remaining in the second. After taking the fall, and he is back in the ball game. Reggie Miller's shot rebounded by Bird.
Look at that pass.
I've never met an athlete that would play with pain the way he does, and an athlete that's so highly self-motivated as Larry Bird.
Indiana wants to talk it over.
You tell the back was getting to him a lot because he was
threshold is
relying on
some
his
guys they'll dislocate a finger and go ahead and play with it. Some guys can dislocate a finger and be out 6 weeks. I think it's just something within your body that some guys have a good pain threshold and some don't. But to me, I was just so glad I got the NBA and made it. I didn't want some little injury messing up my whole season. So I try to.
So, yeah, you could tell he was pretty banged up because he was really not settling for the jump shot, but he was going to it a lot more. And if you watch a lot of Larry Bird, he really does a lot of his work in that mid-post area, elbows, kills you on the offensive glass. So you could tell, the back was really bothering him. Then, of course, he breaks a bone in his face. But, yeah, I like what he said here. He was happy that he got to the league. So he gave it everything he had, you know what I mean? And this is coming from one of the best to ever do it. So if you're not one of the best to ever do it, don't you think you should be giving it your all too?
To play through it.
Bird with the step on Shrep.
When Larry returned, the Celtics went from losing by 3 points to winning by 13 points in a matter of minutes.
But they come right back at you.
Bird on the reverse, and it counts.
He hyped.
I think it's really a mental thing that, Larry's on the court now. Hey, now we got our leader back. We got a big option here we can go to down the stretch during the game. And it's just a big emotional lift when he's on the court, too.
3-point play for Bird. Bird ahead of the field.
And just having him out there is just enough almost, right? Because he's going to affect the game without scoring, too.
The fans at that point wouldn't let the team lose because of what Larry was doing.
Sanders at 6'6", giving away 3.
All right, he's going to pick you apart with his passing. He's still going to rebound, hustle plays. He does everything. So he's not just going to help Boston by putting points on the board. Look at this pass, man.
Is always looking down the floor and just gets it out over the top of Reggie Miller. And he's going to lead this group with a little bit of emotion, and then also by taking it strong to the basket, showing them how it could be done.
If you're a man who makes at least 150 grand a year and you're still embarrassed to take your shirt off at the pool, I will get you chiseled.
Through all of the pain and injuries, Larry Bird came back and led this Celtics team to a victory, proving that there's a big difference between being a good player and being the greatest of all time, because today's players just aren't built like they used to be.
They not even close.
This kind of emotion from Larry Bird.
No, but Larry Bird is answering the challenge put forth to him by Chuck Person and the Indiana Pacers, and he's letting it all hang out today.
I'm talking about today's player. When you look at Larry in that game, and Bob Hill says he's coming back and be ready for him, would today's player come back in a game like that? Now with load management, where agents and managers are saying you got to take care of your body and your product. And it's true, your body is your livelihood.
Yeah.
I remember Jordan playing with 104-degree temperature.
Yeah.
Courageous.
Yo, the pace of the game is so fast today, right? Just up and down, up and down, up and down. No defense being played whatsoever. It's so fast, and they're taking so much time off. They don't practice as much at all. Some teams barely practice, right? They think they need the rest, which they definitely need the rest, but it's too much of the rest. Like, their bodies aren't used to just flying up and down, flying up and down, flying up and down, because they're not practicing. They're not really as in shape as the players were back then. Just my opinion, though. You know what I'm saying? Shoes might have like a small percent. Shoes may have something to do with it. I don't know. But to me, I think they don't practice enough. They don't play enough. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Classic performance by
You have to get your body used to it.
Michael Jordan.
Larry, we just talked about that game, with
Isaiah Thomas against the Lakers in '88, 25-point period on a bad leg.
He's got to be hurting and limping. Thomas goes up, and Isaiah Thomas having an incredible period.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm being unfair, but that just isn't there anymore.
Not being unfair.
Boston 110, Indiana 96. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth.
Good, a cheap shot.
Bird again ends up on the floor.
He getting cooked.
By Person.
He like, I'm getting cooked. I got something for you.
Right in the area that Larry Bird doesn't need, in the middle of the back.
And Bird ain't even tripping. He just got up. Take this with you.
I think 4 or 5 years, you'll think back about what he did, or you'll just, you'll go that. I think it's one of those things that as the years go by, it'll become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Jeez, man.
The Boston Celtics.
Look how even the Pacers players are like all over him.
Series have defeated the Indiana Pacers. They won it in 5 to advance to the second round.
I already had a lot of respect for Larry Bird, but the way he played today, You know, it's just like the stuff you tell your kids about. And I told him at the end of the game, I never seen anything like that.
Truly amazing, and you know, it's courageous. And
They
all
just
those other
lost.
things. And he's the leader. He is the leader of the Celtics, and he will be until he retires.
I've known Chuck for a while, and we've always had run-ins, but it always seems like I get the last word.
Because after that 1992 season, after so many years of giving his blood, sweat, and tears to the game of basketball, Larry Bird's body had completely betrayed him, and no one knew it yet, but he had played his last game in the NBA.
Had back problems. It just gets to the point where you just couldn't play. I mean, you couldn't think, couldn't move, couldn't run. You know, if you can't feel your feet, it's hard to run.
But just before he was about to announce his retirement, a longtime rival asked him to lace up his sneakers one last time. But this time, it would be on the same team in what many people have called the greatest team ever assembled.
Easy.
The 1992 Dream Team.
Larry was on the fence because of his back. So I said, man, LB, you got to play, man. You got to play. This is our last chance to be together. He said, Magic, my back is hurting. I said, Larry, you don't have to play 30 minutes a game. You can just play 10 minutes a game. He said, all right, I'll play. I said, all I want to do is come down and do a no-look pass to you, and you shoot a three-pointer. We both going to be very happy.
My Magic that time, making the defensive rotation, forcing him to put it on the floor.
Bird for three. Yes! His third.
I just want to say this is just a small step in what our goal really is, to get to Barcelona, win the gold medal, and bring it back where it's supposed to be. Thank you.
Larry was talking that talk, man.
May well be the best basketball team ever assembled. And here they are, moments away from their international debut. In the white uniform, Magic Johnson controls the tip. Here's Larry Bird backing in, goes to the fadeaway.
You know, Magic was looking for Larry every time.
Against Canada, Bird for three. Larry Bird hitting his second from downtown. He has 10 points. In the second half, Bird is wide open. That's a...
And even on the brink of retirement, Larry Bird still had a little something left in the tank.
The crowd start cheering. Larry, Larry, Larry.
I'm glad they got to have this moment together for sure. What a way to go out.
The entrance of Larry Bird, a standing ovation.
Get overlooked in transition.
Magic with the pass that misfired. Jordan with the behind the back save. Here's Bird. Yes.
And you just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot after the great save by Michael Jordan.
I'm going to send a message around the world today that y'all can give it up. You foreigners can give it up.
The final score, the United States 136 and Cuba 57.
And in the gold medal game, the Dream Team beat Croatia, and there was no doubt.
Yeah, I don't even think they take the Olympics serious anymore. They keep saying, oh, everybody's catching up. But are they? They are getting better, yes, but we should be getting better too, right? We was annihilating people back then.
Out anywhere in the world who was the greatest team ever assembled.
They won their games to an average margin of 40-plus points. A conclusion.
Front line
After
players,
2 weeks in
crazy.
Barcelona, this group may well be the greatest team ever assembled in the history of team sports.
Bird, Barkley,
However, as
Malone,
the
Ewing.
legends
Oh my
age out of the game, there will always be some newcomers to come challenge the throne. And in 1990,
They do not compare at all. Stop. Stop it. Not even on the same planet. That Redeem team, the one with Kobe and Wade and Bron, that team was pretty good. And they're not even on the same planet. I don't know why I don't know why they're showing this team.
92, that newcomer was Rodney Rogers.
And the shot comes up. Oh, my goodness! Rodney
That may be the best I've seen all season.
You brought up Rodney Rogers. When I was asked
A
about
grown
Zion,
man back
I said,
then.
you know, for some reason, I see a little bit of Rodney Rogers in Zion Williamson. You know, they were big, athletic guys who were mobile. Do you see Rodney Rogers in Zion?
I do see Rodney Rogers. It makes so much sense now that you said it
That's
like
a
that.
great
Rodney
comparison.
Rogers could shoot better. I'd never seen a guy like that strong. I mean, I knew what Country Strong was after I played against him and Corliss Williamson, those guys like that, I mean, maybe never lifted a weight, but could push a car out the way if they needed to. And so with him, yeah, I definitely think Rodney Rogers would be a great comparison for that.
That's a really good
Rodney
comparison.
Rogers was selected as one of the 8 best college players in 1992 to go scrimmage.
It just
against the
wasn't
Dream
as
Team.
soft.
Larry Bird gave Rodney Rogers his welcome to the league moment.
But you missed Bird by a couple of years, I think, didn't you?
I missed him by 1 year, but I got to play against him in the Dream Team and to be able to practice with him, see how he worked out, see how he shot, see the junk that he talked constantly. The best was my man Rodney Rogers, strong, fast, quick, athletic, and Bird just set him up in a corner. Someone drives to the corner, stock and pass out the Bird, and here you see Rodney Rogers take a full sprint. And I'm talking about, you know how Zion blocked that shot a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
That's where like where Rodney Rogers came from. Except, unlike the young kid that shot the shot, in the middle of him being in the midair, Bird says, "Welcome to the parachute club, rookie," and watches him go by, shoots the ball, and kept walking down, shaking his head like these dumb youngsters. They'll never get it.
And according to some of the guys that played, Larry Bird and the Dream Team basically beat these college youngsters by 100 points. But why was Larry Bird so hell-bent on embarrassing the young Rodney Rogers? Because one day earlier, Rodney Rogers said something that pissed Larry Bird off, and a friendly scrimmage turned into a serious lesson in respecting your elders.
When we probably played against him in the Dream Team. You know, that whole situation was amazing.
It was 8 of us. It was myself, Bobby Hurley, Allen Houston, Chris Webber, Rodney Rogers, Eric Montrose.
Shout out Rodney Rogers, man. Shout out.
Yeah. And Grant Hill was on that squad.
That's a squad. Wanting us to crash test them, and they want us to come sit in the car and run up against the wall and see how hard it hurts to play against these guys.
So we get to La Jolla, San Diego, and we check into the Marriott, and we're walking in the corridor, and we see this tall white guy coming down the hall, and I'm like, damn, that looked like Larry Bird. So Larry Bird coming down the hallway, me and Chris Webber, and Larry Bird, you don't realize how big Larry Bird is until you stand up close to Larry Bird.
As a kid, man.
Larry Bird, legit 6'10". So he walked by us and he says, "Y'all those college guys?" And we was like, yeah, we the college guys. And he looked at us and he said, "Get some fucking rest. It's gonna be a long week," and walked off. He was like,
for no reason.
And we get back to the hotel, and I remember Bird getting out the elevators like, "See y'all tomorrow, young fellas. See y'all tomorrow." And it wasn't like a looking forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. I was like, no, it was like a see y'all tomorrow, right?
And I remember getting off the plane, and I see a sign. It says Mr. Bird and Mr. Webber. And I'm like, no way. And so I get in the car, and it's Larry fucking Bird. And I shake his hand. I'm quiet, you know. And when we get out, he doesn't say much.
That's dope.
When we get out, he goes, "Hope you get your sleep tonight, because I'm going to bust your ass tomorrow."
Yes.
And
Yo, imagine being a college kid. That's your idol. And he says that to you. You excited or you nervous? Like, how would y'all feel?
I didn't know what to say, but I knew this is a moment you have to say something. And I was like, Larry, your back is already hurting, man. You need to take it easy. And then I run to the room and I call my father. I'm like, Dad, Larry Bird was just talking shit to me.
So the next morning, we get up and we go to practice, and the Dream Team is practicing. They're finishing up their practice. And then they say, all right, get loose and stretch out. We're like, okay, we playing? They're like, yeah, we're going to play next. It's the starting 5, I think, is myself, Chris Webber, Rodney Rogers, Bobby Hurley, and Allen Houston.
So we're practicing. We start finding the rhythm. Penny's pinning people's on the glass. You know, C. Webb's doing his thing, and I hit a couple threes, and next thing you know, like the clock stops, and we look up and like we up.
Yeah.
Right. We're up.
Like the first 15 minutes, we kicking their ass. we running them all out. Bobby Hurley in the lane, killing John Stockton.
I did have some success penetrating and collapsing the defense, and our energy, our excitement to play, all those things played in our favor.
My favorite HoneyBook feature is the automations.
Good old Coach Hurley, so humble.
Orlando Wiggum, and we are mirroring.
You talk your talk, man.
HoneyBook.
You know, what we were doing that day, you know, they couldn't stop it. It felt tremendous.
I don't know if there was ever a more pure or better basketball day for myself or for any of those guys, because we were in a dream playing against our heroes, and we did beat them that first practice.
And then something happened. We're sitting there, and we get back to the hotel. Rodney Rogers says something to, it's a group of them. It's Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and everybody's shooting the shit. And Rodney Rogers said, "Hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since '84. And he think none of it. The next day we came in. That's when the thing came out that Chuck Daly let us win.
There are kids who believe in Santa Claus too, and the Easter.
Yo, telling Larry Bird you ain't hit a jumper since '84 is crazy. He confident. He was confident. I ain't mad at it though.
Bonnie, and now that they've grown up, I hate to burst their bubble, but it was a game thrown.
You got to stand on it
through
though.
the game. If you look how he subbed guys in, not picking up, not making any adjustments, he knew what he was doing.
I love Coach K.
I think Chuck threw the game. Keep it real. Keep it real. I think he threw the game.
That's come on, man. That's BS. They had Chris Mullin, a better shooter than anyone that we had. We really beat him that day. But the next day, it's been the only time in my life I've been in a scrimmage and my team did not score in the whole quarter.
Man, the next day it was different.
They went extra
different.
hard
It
like
was
that?
different that day. Yeah, you could tell that, you know, they were like, "Come on now, we're gonna let y'all know who we really are."
We showed them why we are who we are. We pretty much beat them by 100.
They couldn't score.
They were smacking the floor, talking shit to us like it was a championship game.
Magic Johnson fed Larry Bird the ball probably about 8 times in a row down court. Larry Bird got the ball on Rodney Rogers, and every time he was about to make a move, he told him what he was going to do. One dribble, pull up, going left, off glass. One dribble, going right, spin, shot, bucket. He scored 9 times or 8 times in a row, left the court to go lay down because he couldn't sit on the bench. He had to lay down because of his back. And said, "Young fella, look like '84, huh?"
Oh.
Last time he made it.
Yeah, right.
Oh. That's like the coldest line ever. Feel like '84, don't it? Oh.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow. I said, so that's they kicked our ass for the rest of the week. And
It said the rest of the week, guys. They ain't play with you.
Nah, they ain't play with us the rest of the week. And this one I was like, this is a different breed.
Larry Bird retired after that season, and though many players have been compared to Larry Bird since he retired, nobody has been able to capture the one-of-a-kind magic that created the nickname Larry Legend.
You know, I would like to play it a little bit longer, maybe a year or two more, but there's just no way possible I was going to be able to do that. So today I'm retiring, and I knew this day was going to come sometime, and I sort of prepared myself. But once you sign the papers and say you're retired, or once you get up here in front of these people, it's a little bit different.
One of the best to ever do it, man.
The Larry Bird retirement ceremony. They had it on a night when there was no game. That's how special, that's how popular, that's how great Larry Bird is.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Boston Garden, and you couldn't get a ticket. Magic comes out, and it was just great. And he had the Celtic T-shirt on underneath, and the speech that Magic gave.
Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird.
To have all the fans come back to pay tribute and to say thank you. There was nothing like that on earth.
Tonight, my basketball career is officially over, and I had a blast. So tonight I leave. I leave basketball forever. I leave a game that I loved. Sorry, but I'm gone. I'm history. I dedicated my life to basketball, and I dedicated my life to the Boston Celtics. So I say good night, Boston, and may God bless each and every one of you. Good night.
Shout out to Larry Legend, man. That is it. I'm glad he got to go out that way, man. It was a dope way for him to go out. Again, if you're 65 and up and you want virtual training classes, they are only $20 right now. So hit that link, fill out the form. I'll get with you. Talk about your goals. We'll figure that out, man. This is only going on for this month, so definitely take advantage of it. All right. But man, shout out to y'all, man. I'm Coach Wiz. Let me know what you want to see next. Peace.